Welcome, prospective AP Stat students. My name is Brian Miron, and I'm one of the teachers for this course for the 2020-2021 school year. Along with Miss Leah Madigan, we have the opportunity and the honor to teach one of the most interesting and most applicable math courses offered in the United States today, AP Statistics. Let me tell you a little bit about this class, but before I do, let me first introduce you to Monty Hall. There he is, Monty Hall. He's an old game show host. In fact, he hosted, as you can guess, the show Let's Make a Deal. You can ask your folks about this. They know about that show. But one of the most famous problems on Let's Make a Deal is actually a fictional game that was created to look at statistics in a general sense. Imagine that there are 3 doors in front of you. Numbered doors 1, 2, and 3, as you can see. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to choose one of these doors behind which you think might have a prize. Yes, that's right. One of these doors has a prize behind it, but the other 2 doors have goats. And goats are not what you're going for here. So I offer you the choice. Would you want to pick door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? Well, of course, in the game Let's Make a Deal, the contestant will now turn around and ask their loved ones, their friends, their family, and everybody else in the audience which door they should pick. I tell you what, for the purposes of this simulation, let's say you pick door number 2. Door number 2, sure. All right, well, what Monty Hall would do in this fictional simulation is open door number 3. Yeah, that's right. Door number 3. And Monty Hall shows you a goat. Door number 3 was wrong. Now, that might make you feel better because you chose door number 2. But see, now you're offered with a proposition. Do you want to stick with door number 2 and trust your gut? Or would you like to switch to door number 1 and hope that maybe the prize is behind there? Go ahead, make your choice. Stick or switch. My friends, I'm not going to give you the answer to this conundrum right now. It's something that you could certainly search online and find all kinds of simulations, videos, and interesting articles about. But it is one of the interesting things that we look at in AP Statistics. So, what is AP Statistics? Well, it used to be, up until a couple of years ago, College Board defined AP Statistics as 4 domains, as you see right here. There was exploratory analysis. That's a really boring way of saying, hey, let's look at graphs. What do the graphs tell us? If you're on social media, if you watch the news or read the paper, you've seen millions of graphs. And what do they mean? Some of them are very, very unreliable, and some of them are rock solid. And we will learn how to describe different kinds of graphs. We'll look at planning and conducting studies. That means experiments, surveys, things like this. We have a lot of courses here at Walnut Hills where you have to actually conduct a survey. We will show you how to do it correctly. All right? We look at probability and probability models. This is the most math-intensive portion of the class where we actually use calculators and, do probabilities. You've learned about some probabilities in algebra, algebra 2, geometry. You've learned about some probabilities, but we're going to take it a little bit further. And then finally, we're going to use our knowledge of probabilities to do what is called statistical inference. And what that is, that's simply testing claims that other people, companies, or organizations have made. All right? So, who really won this the election this year? Well, statistical inference would tell us. Of course, we have a bunch of people who voted, but do you know that almost 40% of people didn't vote? What do you think would have happened if everybody voted? Well, that's what statistical inference would tell us. It's interesting. Now, like I said, a couple years ago, College Board did redesign AP Statistics, but everything we learn is still contained in those 4 domains. So, where is AP Statistics used academically? Well, in other classes, you'll find AP statistics scattered throughout all over the place. Will you be taking AP psychology in 12th grade? There's a lot of statistics in that class. In fact, psychology couldn't exist without statistics. And psychology gives statistics a reason for being. They're almost sister classes. If you're signing up for AP psychology, you owe it to yourself to sign up for AP stats as well. AP biology, where they studied chi-squared tests and chi-squared distributions to determine if certain genotypes are really kind of strange for their environment. So we will look at chi-squared tests as well. AP seminar, AP research, there's stats used all throughout that, depending on the studies that you choose to do. We use probabilities in computer science. Folks, the list goes on and on and on. All right, and every year, statistics gets used in even more classes than it was the year before. But I'm not trying to encourage you to take AP stats for school. I'm trying to encourage you to take it for the real world. Yeah, in the real world, AP stats is becoming more and more and more of a useful tool. Are you into sports? Baseball, football, cricket, lacrosse? It doesn't matter. Every sport contains statistics. And sabermetrics, which is a new field, just 20 years old. All right, baseball teams actually hire statisticians to help set their lineups. It's true. Look it up. All right, have you been to a casino? Probably not. I know you're not of age yet, but we'll explore some of the nuances of gambling and things like that. Are you looking at a career in business, in medicine, in law? Then you're going to need statistics at some point or another. I promise your college program will require it, and we can help you meet that requirement before ever leaving Walnut Hills. All right, these are some of the fun ways that AP Stats is used, but folks, there are some serious issues in the world that also employ the use of statistics. Here's a list right here that I'm not going to go over completely, but all of these are actual topics that we explore, discuss, and learn about in AP statistics. We do not hold back from hot button issues. I know that there are people on both sides of the political spectrum. All right? So are myself and Miss Madigan. And that's okay, because we can talk about it statistically and not get emotional. Using data, we can see where the truth lies, or rather, where the truth lies in between. All right? When we talk about COVID, well, that's a very timely issue, and we talk about that as well. All right? Race and police use of force, you name it, we discuss it, because statistics, my friends, is everywhere. All right? In order to take AP statistics, there are a few prerequisites. You do need to be a sophomore or higher. We apologize for that, but there's reasons for it. All right? You have to have passed Algebra 2 or Algebra 2 AA. A lot of folks take AP statistics along with other math courses, such as pre-calculus, calculus AA, A, B, or BC calculus, all kinds of different math classes, computer science, engineering. All of these are excellent co-requisites to AP statistics, all right? And in order to take this class, you need to have an interest in learning about the real world. I'm not talking about the real world like you learned about in Algebra 2. I mean the actual real world, the one that you live in. You'll see what we mean, all right? So a good question is, how hard is AP statistics? Let me be honest with you. As a math course, it is not that difficult. There's actually a lot more of problem solving, of reading and thinking and understanding than there are in other math classes. You might want to look at your history, government, and econ classes. This is actually closer to those types of courses than most math classes. Are you taking psychology or sociology? You'll find statistics everywhere in there. So, you do have to do quite a bit of work. There is reading. There is homework. We do group work during class because communication is key. We're going to teach you tools to help you understand problems, and you're going to work together to help solve those real-world problems. Everything in this class is real. We don't need to fabricate data when there is data right outside our window today. So statistics is not a hard class, but it will require work. You're not going to float by, but this will not be the hardest course on your schedule. Probably. All right. So, in order to tell you why you should not take AP Statistics, let me introduce my colleague and friend, Miss Leah Madigan. Miss Madigan, if you wouldn't mind, could you explain to our friends here some reasons why they shouldn't take AP Statistics? Miss Madigan? Well, okay, thank you for stopping by, Miss Madigan. And actually, she is right. There are no good reasons to not take this course. All right? So, with all that being said, I look forward to answering your questions. I look forward to meeting you and talking with you. And I look forward to working with you next year in AP Statistics. Have a great day, folks.